What's up, VFL? Welcome to the first MVP race with your hosts, Outtaker and Moolah. Today we're going to consider 5 candidates: Decipher, Aries, Greasy Money, Red Water, Evidence, and Mr. Unknown. First off, we're going to talk about Decipher 2 Rule, quarterback DB of the Detroit Lions. He has 2 seasons of VFL experience. He's the best quarterback out there, in my opinion. And going into free agency, he's going to be the best quarterback coming out. He went 19-2 this season, and he broke records. Knocks on him is he may not be the best DB, and he may have bum hunted a little bit, but the stats speak for themselves. And Decipher, in my opinion, puts himself over a lot of these other candidates, and in my opinion, he's the MVP. Outtaker, how do you feel?
No doubt Decipher 2 Royal is the best quarterback statistically this season with 76 touchdown passes, 19 picks. That's about a 7.0 touchdown interception ratio. He only has two seasons of experience in the VFL. From what I've heard, I heard he just played easy teams this season. That's why his statistics are great. And another thing I've heard is he's not too great at DB, which could hurt his chances of winning the MVP award. He's 19-2 this season, which is great also. And he's starting to get well known into the league, but he still has some seasons to go if he wants to be considered one of the best quarterbacks ever to play in the VFL.
This is true. Next off, we got Red Water, running back, linebacker, the VFL Titans. Red Water goes way back. VFL experience of 9 seasons. If you can see his award showcase, it may upset the bandwidth of League Arena. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champ, a Super Bowl MVP. He does this consistently. And again, he's right back in the race with a 16-5 win-loss ratio. Again, he's the interception machine. He's got 32 interceptions. He's part of the VFL Golden Boys, Hostility, Redwater, and Aries. He's a great candidate, and if we're going off of history, he's always in the race for candidate. So you can't say that he came out of nowhere. And just as well as Decipher, I think Redwater could win this. How do you feel?
Yeah, I consider him one of the final candidates for this. The only thing is his win and loss record, because you got to consider that into the MVP voting. He's 16-5 this season, and that's tied with the lowest win-loss ratio out of all the candidates. Yeah, he's one of the he's probably the greatest linebacker I've ever played with in the VFL. His receiving stats at running back this
Besides
season.
King Logic.
Besides who?
King Logic.
Okay, but his receiving stats were insane this season. I haven't put him up on this photo, but he was almost with Aries in receiving yards, and he's not just a ground type running back, but he can also catch and get yards after the catch, especially with Chris Johnson. So no doubt he's probably one of the most well-known players in the VFL. That's why he has a popularity of 5 stars. His awards are just insane. I only could add one apiece to this award case, or it was gonna go all over the whole photo. I had to put it in the player ratings. So if you probably would have had another award, I don't know if I would have been able to fit that on there. But yeah, definitely Redwater would be considered for an MVP. I wouldn't be surprised if he did get it. So moving on to the next one.
And not to mention, when you go outside of the stats of Redwater, he can completely carry a line by himself.
Yeah.
When you go outside. Next off, we have Aries, a.k.a. Reese Money, wide receiver DB, Tennessee Titans, part of the Golden Boys, just like Redwater. 17-4, though. I don't know what happened with the win losses with them. Again, just like Redwater, Aries is an interception machine. He's got 44. His weakness is listed as iffy season at receiver, but it's a completely different Madden and a different way to play receiver, and especially when he's playing with captain check down. I mean hostility. Um, he also had to share catches with Redwater, like you were bringing up with the receiving yards. But what comes into place with Aries is defensively, and he pretty much did work this season. My boy's showing me what it is. And by the way, hostility, I wasn't making a personal attack at you. I was just saying, like, it's a little bit harder, you know. But yeah, that's how I feel.
So about Aries, if he does win this MVP race, it will not be on his offense. It would definitely be his defense because this season he didn't have a great statistic year at wide receiver with only like I still missed 14 games. I only played 14 games this season. That's in the things, and I actually have better
I
stats
played
than
3.
what?
I played 3 games.
Well, like I have 14 games in, and I actually have like better receiving yards than him and stuff. He has his 21 games in. That's why I gave him a 3-star, just because of his statistics alone. I know he's a great receiver. It's just I guess hostility didn't throw him the ball too much. He's
sharing catches with Redwater as well.
Yeah, like Redwater had over 100 receptions, so and that's like a big factor. That's going to take a big chunk out of Aries' stats, but he did go 17-4. There was one time where Redwater didn't play with Aries, and I had to double check on Redwater's record, and Aries told me it was 16-5. But yeah, only 4.4 catches a game. A game is not that great. I guess, like I said, hostility didn't throw the ball too much, but overall, he could still be in this race, especially winning this.
Plus his ownership, yeah.
Yeah, in his ownership, he did really great at owner. So moving on to the next one.
Next play evidence. Oh, evidence. This guy is a machine in Madden 25. This is the fucking. This is the running back to be. He averages 10 yards a carry. Tell me how that's possible. He can carry a line any day of the week. Running back DB. Evidence he's done it season after season, breaking records. Honestly, this dude has a legit chance at getting this. Great is he's over, which puts him over Aries in my opinion, because his offensive stats beat Aries' defensive stats, I think. Evidence is seriously in this race, and I would say the season evidence.
All right. About evidence, yeah, he's another guy that would really be great at winning this award, especially with his offense. I have not seen a running back ever since I've been in the VFL that has done so dominant in the past seasons in this game, other than evidence. Like Redwater is behind him in rushing yards, but that's like over 1,000 yards behind. Like it's insane. I was looking at them stats earlier. I was like, gosh. But the only weakness that I see about evidence is his picks at DB. He had a lot of deflections, but he only ended up getting 16 picks at DB. That's fairly low for a defensive position. So overall, it's his running back skills that can earn him this MVP award. And just like Redwater, his trophy case is stacked with so many awards. So
yeah.
Moving on to the last one, we have.
Last but not least, Mr. Unknown, aka K Kazmi, aka I'm Zach, aka the best power forward in the VBA. We got 8 seasons in the VFL. This is a guy that I kind of looked up to as receiver DB because, well, when he was at receiver linebacker, because he's always done his thing. And like the rest of the group, excluding Decipher, his list of trophies is just incredible. And Unknown gets it done season by season. I don't really see a weakness in the guy. Amazing receiver DB. His stats speak for himself, and especially that record of 20-1. There's no beating that, honestly. Mr. Unknown, you're gonna be a great candidate for MVP, baby. I love you. Rita Reagan.
Yeah, I really don't know Unknown too much because every time I'm in a party with him, he always has me muted. I don't know why, but if we went by records, he would definitely win the MVP race, going 21-1 from what I've heard with 3 different quarterbacks, which is really impressive. Over 5,000 receiving yards, 50 touchdowns. That's like a quarterback statistics right there. You really don't see a receiver getting that much stuff. His DB skills are just as good as Aries in my opinion. I haven't really played him I think I only played him like once in the VFL. That was a couple seasons ago. When I was listening weaknesses about this guy, I really don't have any weaknesses about him. He could really win this MVP race if I don't know. To be honest, this whole season's going to be a tough one. I think all candidates are perfect candidates for this MVP race. So, yeah, that's basically what I have for Unknown. I really don't know him too much, but do you know if he played in the VFL for 8 seasons? I'm not exactly sure because I remember I was looking at his stuff and it was his first award was from season 4.
No, he was around season 3. So it might be a little longer.
All right, but yeah, that's all what we have for the MVP race analyst video. I'm Taker, and with me is King Moolah, the guy who made me retire, the guy that made me retire from the VFL in the first place. So
I'll take her.
leave your comments and stuff about this video in the forums, and later.
By the way, David Mob is a great player.
Oh my gosh. Is that it? Is that all you got to say?
That's all.
All right.